Welcome back to Eyewitness News Daybreak. It's been a big holiday season for movies with huge titles coming out, creating a lot of buzz. But now we're kind of getting into the slower part of the year. We'll have to see if that holds true here in 2020. Our movie expert, our movie critic, Jim Hunter, joining us this morning. Jim, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you, Jake?
I'm doing okay. Now, the Golden Globe nominations are out. I know you probably have a lot to say about that.
Golden Globe winners are out. We had a ceremony earlier this week. We will have the Oscar nominations coming out on Monday. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, we've got sort of a mix of movies today. Some Oscar contenders, or hopeful Oscar contenders, as well as some genre films that are kind of January dumping ground movies.
Let's talk about this first movie, and I think that's why I referenced the Golden Globes, because this movie did very well at the Golden Globes, which means it could do well at the Academy Awards. 1917.
1917 won both Best Director and Best Picture Drama at the Golden Globes. This tells the story of two soldiers who must deliver a message to stave off a massacre during World War I. It's directed by Sam Mendes, and it stars George McKay and Dean Charles Chapman, two newcomers who join a supporting cast that includes Benedict Cumberbatch and Colin Firth. Now, the interesting thing about this film is it's essentially an all-one take. That's an impossible production feat, but when you go to the movie, it's going to seem as though this entire film takes place in just one take. That is the work of director Sam Mendes and famed cinematographer Roger Deakins, both of whom are most likely to win, most likely to be nominated for Academy Awards for Best Director and Best Cinematography.
So we know this movie is going to do well at the award season because it's already done so, but I mean, what do you think about for people who live in the area here if they want to go see it? What are critics saying to you that makes you think about this movie?
So critics are calling this one of the best movies of the year, a masterpiece. One critic called it one of the best movies of the decade. So I think that this is certainly must-watch film for any person who considers themselves a student of film. For sort of a more popular audience, if you enjoy action spectacle, action spectacular, then you might be able to find something to like within 1917
But this is
well.
probably going to be a pretty harsh movie, right?
It's going to be
real.
Intense. Think Saving Private Ryan. Think about the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan, and if that was something that you want to see for 2 hours, then go see 1917.
All right, let's talk about our next movie. We get toward that dumping ground area, and this movie literally goes down in the plot as well.
Exactly.
Starring Hollywood darling Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart, Vincent Cassel, and also Hollywood darling, why is he even in movies anymore, T.J. Miller. This is called Underwater. It is directed by William Eubank. This is basically a creature feature, right? It's an underwater, a group of people underwater, sort of a underwater lab, so to speak. There's an accident in their facility, and they have to walk across the ocean bottom to safety while pursued by mysterious creatures. Critics are giving this like a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Higher than higher than the Emoji Movie for T.J. Miller.
A little bit, yeah, right?
But we know what we're going to get out of this. It's like a monster flick, a suspense film, right?
Competently made, but ultimately substance-free.
Let's go to our next movie then, Just Mercy, because I want to get what you have to say about this. This one has big names in it. It has a very interesting plot based on the preview. Is this one of those movies that's an award contender type movie, or is it a dumping ground movie?
No, this certainly is an awards contender type movie. It is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and it stars Michael B. Jordan, as we see there on screen. Co-starring is Jamie Foxx in what is, for him, one of the roles of his career. It also co-stars Brie Larson. This is a story of a lawyer who represents a death row inmate who was, the evidence suggests that he was falsely accused and falsely convicted. And this is set in 1987. We're hearing that this has brilliant performances, relevant social justice story. This might be an awards contender. And if it isn't, then there's certainly going to be some controversy about its exclusion.
Right, two threes Three very good actors and actresses in that movie, enough to, I think, to make a lot of people go see it. Let's go to our final movie of the week, Like a Boss.
Like a Boss is Tiffany Haddish, Rose Byrne, Salma Hayek, and Billy Porter, as you see there on screen. This is the story of two friends slash business partners who form their own makeup company, and then they are the target of what is possibly a hostile takeover by Salma Hayek's character, who's sort of a titan of the business, so to speak. We don't have a critical consensus about this yet, but early word that I've heard is that this is enjoyable for its audience, which is
what's a comedy? You kind of know what you're going to get. You know,
exactly.
This is one of those where the preview is going to tell you really what the movie's about.
If you like the 2 or 3 minutes that you see on the previews, then you will like the rest of this movie. It's Tiffany Haddish doing Tiffany Haddish things, and Rose Byrne sort of along with the ride, and Salma Hayek as well. So if you like these 3 main actors and you think that they can be funny and entertain you, then this is the movie for you.
Jim Hunter, our movie critic, last week ranked Cats higher than Star Wars.
I did.
Gotta keep that rolling.
I stand by that.
All right, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We'll be back after the break.